Hello everyone and welcome to our virtual yoga class. I'm Vanessa and I'm here to guide you and support you in the next 45 minutes of your practice. We'll begin class by laying on our backs. I want you to be mindful that as you transition to lay on your back, you're starting to practice. You're starting to gather yourself to release your to-do lists of the day, and you're returning to your breath. So please inhale here and exhale, sigh it out. Soften the neck down the spine, hips down to the toes. Invite that quick body scan here. And then observe the quality of your breath without any judgment. Just notice the belly and ribcage expand as you inhale. Notice that release as you exhale. See if you can invite a few breaths, lengthening the inhale and exhale a little longer than you're accustomed to. At any point, inhaling here, exhaling, sighing out. Intentional breath here. Exhale, side out. As we return our attention to our breath, we're building that bridge of uniting the physical, mental, emotional body. You can notice that physical, mental, emotional release just by exhaling, sighing out. Throughout the class, return to your breath as you're exploring your strength, flexibility, and balance. Another generous breath here, inhaling, exhaling, sighing out. And then start to invite a full body stretch, lifting your arms up overhead, interlacing your fingers, pointing your toes. You're lifting your abdomen up towards the ceiling, softening the lower back, releasing any tension around the lower back as you're lifting your abdomen up towards the ceiling. I'm going to open up around the shoulders, between the shoulder blades. And also point your toes, flex your heels. We tend to not pay attention to our feet. And then, next, exhale, round your spine, bend your knees, bring your knees towards your belly, your chest, your chin towards your chest. Hold here. Hold. And then drop your head, lengthen your legs. Another full body stretch. Lifting your abdomen up towards the ceiling, pointing your toes. You can flex your heels here. You want to place a tension from toes, heels, up to the shoulder blades and neck. Second round, we bend our knees, round our spine. So you're taking your hands towards your knees, chin towards your chest. And then last round, lengthen your legs, interlace your fingers, full body stretch here. And then last round, bend your knees, feet float off the floor, hands towards knees, or shins, chin towards chest. Hold. And then drop, release the pose. We're gonna go ahead and transition to sit in our cross-legged position. As you come into your cross-legged position, you'll notice that one leg tends to be the most forward. I want you to switch it out so it's the opposite leg that's forward. And actually that does matter as we're cultivating balance in our body. It's very natural to favor one side more than the other or move through repetitive motions or stances using one side more than the other. So that left, depending on what leg is usually forward, make it the opposite one, whether it's on the floor or if your ankle is resting on your calf or shin. Lengthen your spine, notice your core. So by lengthening the spine, we're activating the core. And it's a good way to notice that subtlety. It's not as if, it's not like a plank workout where you're activating your core to lift up the entire body. This is lifting the spine, lifting the chest, you're drawing your shoulders down. It's a gentle cultivation and activation through the lower, mid, and upper core. Deep belly breath. Notice if there's any stored tension in the neck and shoulders. We'll notice that just by our natural tendency to lift our shoulders. Draw them down. Neck is neutral, chin is neutral. One intentional breath here. You can inhale here, exhale, side out. Gently plant your hands on your knees. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears and then draw them down. A few times here, shoulders up towards your ears, draw them down. One more time, shoulders up towards your ears, draw them down. You're going to take your left hand to rest onto your knee, your right knee, and then twist towards the right here. So as you're twisting, I'm leading through my chest, my heart. I'm gripping my knee for extra support and deepening the twist. I'm simultaneously shifting my chin towards my shoulder, right shoulder. Hold. Hold the pose, but not your breath. And then release. Now opposite hand here. Now you want your right hand over that left knee. Twist towards the left. Chin moves towards that left shoulder. You're using your grip to help intensify the twist. And then come back to center. Hands on knees, neck rolls. We'll drop our chin towards our chest. First, I want you to notice that stretch around the back of the neck, upper back. And now lift your chin up towards the ceiling. You're gently opening up the throat. Go back to center. Take your chin, pointing it or moving it towards that right shoulder. And then opposite side. Drop your chin towards your chest, roll your head from one shoulder to the next. Either full circle or just half a circle. Focusing on the sides of the neck, throat, back of the neck, extending that awareness to the shoulders, upper back. If you prefer to work on some meditation, you can bring your head back to a point of stillness. Otherwise, a few more rolls here. Do not forget your breath. Re-engage with the breath. Inhale and exhale here. One more breath cycle, wherever you're at, whether you're in meditation or with your neck rolls. If your eyes are closed, open your eyes. We'll lift our arms up overhead, palms up towards the ceiling. Lengthen your arms here. You're separating your shoulder blades. Shift a little bit towards the left. And opposite side. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center, round your spine, chin towards chest, palms towards the front. Separate your shoulder blades. And release. If we focus a little bit on the upper body. Again, let's focus on our hamstrings, the lower part of our body, affecting our glutes and hips, calves. You're going to press that right foot right against your left thigh, lengthen your spine. For a moment here, let's flex that left foot as much as you can. So you're pointing your toes up towards the ceiling, or maybe your toes are facing more towards you. You're pressing your heel towards the front. You're gently activating the leg, lengthening the spine. You're noticing a stretch anywhere from hamstrings, glutes, hips. You might be affecting around the calf. And then soften that left foot and now fold. Breathing into your hamstrings here. Hands reaching thighs, shins, or toes. Breathe into what's opening up for you as we work on our flexibility. It's important to breathe into the space, see what's opening up, and then see where your boundary is and fold just a little bit more. That's how we increase our flexibility, noticing our boundary, moving past it just a little bit to a point that's not painful. Don't forget to breathe. You should not be aware of your breath. Bring that awareness to that breath. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Lengthen your right leg, right foot towards the front. Press your left heel right into that thigh. Flex your right foot. Bend. You can have a little bend to your knee. Up to you if you want to keep that right foot flexed or if you prefer to relax that foot. Invite your deep belly breath. And then after that deep belly breath, release. Bend your knees. We're going to transition into our tabletop. Hands right beneath our shoulders, knees hips width distance apart. Inhale up into your cow pose, placing extra attention to your tailbone and your lower back. Those are areas to store a lot of tension. We're going to remain here. Opening our chest, sliding our shoulders back, lifting our tailbone. Inhale and exhale. It's all right to exhale into this pose. You're spreading your fingertips wide. You're noticing the tops of your feet. Now round your spine. We're going to remain here. Another extra breath or two. It's all right if you inhale into your cow pose. You're separating your shoulder blades, pressing through your palms. Chin moves towards your chest. And then moving at your own pace. Inhale up, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, cat pose. Inhale up, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, cat pose. Moving with your breath here. And after a few rounds, come back to a neutral position. Lift your right leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. We're focusing and opening here around the glutes, quads, and hip. You're pressing through your palms, bending your knee, activating your glute. And now release your knee onto the floor. Opposite side, lift your left leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. Release your knee onto the floor, lift up into your downward facing dog. You're in your upside down V. Fingertips are spread wide. You're pressing through your palms, bringing your chest closer towards your thighs. Your heels are lifted. Breathe from your heels to your hamstrings, down to your fingertips. Hold here. Now take your gaze between your hands, walk or jump up to that forward fold. So we're going to take our hands to our shins. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, release, softening your neck and head. Remain here. Cup your elbows with your hands. Rock to the left and to the right. Making sure torso, neck, and head are totally relaxed as you're distributing weight around your heels. Moving that stretch to different parts of your hamstrings and glutes and hips, lower back. And after a few moments here, release your hands, slowly roll up to standing, head comes up last, arms dangle. Notice that paradox where your legs are active, your upper body is relaxed. As you shift into your mountain pose, you can choose either hands framing your hips, palms towards the front, or if you prefer, hands in front of your heart center. Noticing right hand pressed against left hand pressed against right hand. Welcome your breath. And then notice by welcoming our breath, we're welcoming our experience. This is part of cultivating that practice, that mental and emotional aspect of our practice. Welcoming our breath, we welcome our experience. Inhale here, you can exhale, side out. Release your hands, arms lift. Palms up towards the ceiling. We're going to lift our heels halfway or all the way up and hold. Shoulders are away from our ears. Our gaze is steady. Our breath is even. We're noticing those fluctuations in our body, those shifts of energy, that stillness and that movement in this pose. Release your heels down towards the floor. Release your hands. This time, interlace your fingers behind you. Draw your shoulder blades closer together. Lift your chin. Lift your gaze up towards the ceiling gently. You're extending your elbows. Your palms can touch or not. Bend your knees. Fold down, forward fold. Shoot those elbows out behind you. Breathe into your strength. Breathe into your flexibility. Now release your hands towards your shins. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, second round. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, third round. Inhale, halfway up. Make sure you're softening the neck and head as you fold down. Your choice, you can roll up slowly or lift up slowly. Or you can sweep your arms up overhead. Your choice again, keeping your hands in front of your heart center, or taking your hands to frame your hips. Either way works. Inhale. Exhale. We'll start to transition into a warrior two, taking our left foot forward and extending our right leg back. Our right foot is in a diagonal. We bring a bend, about a 90-degree bend to our left knee. So our hips are naturally opened here. Left arm over thigh, right arm behind you. You can check your left arm, right arm, just make sure they're parallel to the floor. Take your gaze over your left hand and hold. This is a pose of flexibility and strength. Breathe from your heels up to your spine, to the crown of your head. You can imagine a line of energy from one fingertip to the other. Glutes and hips and quads are opening and active. Bring your attention back to your breath. Slide shoulders down, arms are strong. Release that right hand right behind your thigh. Lift your left arm up, side body stretch here, also around the lower back. Keep a bend to that left knee. Breathe into your heels, to your side body, back to center. Inhale here, exhale. Drop your elbow right onto your thigh. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. So as you're lifting your arm, you're not passively lifting your arm. You're purposely lengthening, reaching up towards the ceiling. Opening around the shoulder and the chest. Either remain here or lengthen that left leg and have a little bend to that knee. Drop your hand down towards the floor or towards the shin. Inhale. Exhale. Release that hand, right hand and left hand. Frame that left foot. You're gonna pivot your right foot. So now you're in a lunge here. Drop your knee onto the floor. Press that right hand onto the floor. Lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Deep belly breath. Release your hands, step back into your plank pose. So hands move forward, legs are long, core is active. It's the first plank pose of the class. Take a moment here to adjust. And now drop down towards the floor. Inhale up, upward facing dog. Elbows extend, tops of the feet on the floor, shoulders away from your ears. And then downward facing dog. Deep belly breath here. Take your gaze between your hands, walk or jump up to that forward fold. One round, inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, your choice, how you come up to standing. Be intentional here about how you lift up to standing. It's a good time to reset, to re-engage with your breath, to invite awareness of this present moment. That's a practice we're cultivating throughout the class. Returning to our breath from one moment to the next is very difficult to do so in a concentrated amount of time. Inhale here, exhale, side out. As you're moving through your yoga practice, make it an opportunity to re-engage with your body, re-familiarize with your body, noticing what works, what doesn't work, what's sore, what's open, what's strong, what can get stronger. Warrior two, right foot forward, left leg steps back, left foot in a diagonal, 90-degree bend to that knee, hips naturally open, arms shoot out at a T. You can check your left arm, right arm, make sure they're parallel to the floor, shoulders are drawn down. Now, very purposely, keep your gaze over that right hand, perhaps focusing on a point across the floor or room. Imagine that line of energy from one fingertip to the other. Your arms are strong, your legs are grounded down through the heels. This is a strong and stabilizing pose. Breathe into your strength, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Release that left hand right behind that thigh. Lift your right arm up. Side body stretch. You're also stretching throughout the lower back. And then back to center, warrior two. Keep a bend to that knee. Now drop your elbow onto your thigh. Very purposely lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Breathe into that right hip, right glute. And then either lengthen that leg, drop your hand down towards floor or shin, or keep that knee bent. Either taking your gaze up towards the ceiling or releasing your gaze down towards the floor. Inhale, and exhale, release. Low lunge, you're dropping that left knee onto the floor. Press that left hand onto the floor. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale, and then exhale, release your hands, step back into your plank pose. Release down towards the floor. Inhale up, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Generous breath here in your downward facing dog. Take your gaze between your hands. Walk or jump up to that forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, your choice. So you come up to standing, rolling them slowly or sweeping your arms up overhead. Hands in front of your heart center. Hands framing your hips. Either option for your mountain pose. Welcome your breath. Welcome your experience here. We'll start to shift into a chair pose. Bend your knees, shoot your arms forward, hold. Glutes and quads are engaged. You're grounding through your heels. Hands in front of your heart center, twist towards the right. And then back to center, twist to opposite side. Exhale, release, fold down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release, move through your vinyasa, stepping back into plank pose. Releasing down towards the floor. In that upward facing dog, make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. You're not crunching them up next to your ears. I'm engaging my glutes here for support. And then downward facing dog. In your down dog, lift your left leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. You have the option of doing this in your tabletop instead. Bring your chest closer towards your thigh. Don't forget your breath. Release your foot back down towards the floor. Opposite side, lift your right leg, bend your knees, stack your hips. Chest moves towards your thigh. Release your foot back down towards the floor. Knees drop on the ground and then shift down into your child's pose. Either knees close together or knees touching each other. Take a moment to invite intentional long breaths. See if you can lengthen your inhale and exhale a little longer than you're accustomed to. That helps you concentrate. That invites this present moment awareness. Three more breaths in your child's pose. Inhale, you can exhale, side out. After a few breaths, release. Start to release your child's pose. Bend your knee, soles of the feet are on the floor. Balance and core workout here. This is a work of balance and strength, or boat pose. So for extra support, you can always take your hands behind your thighs and then lift your legs up. Remaining here, engaging glutes and quads, lifting your legs as high as you can. Or you can take your palms out, facing up towards the ceiling. Imagine it's a cord lifting your chest here. Lots of strength here, not just the core, but it's also glutes and quads. You're balancing as well. Take an even breath. Breathing into your lower belly. And release, lengthening your legs, palms up towards the ceiling, chin towards your chest, slowly roll down. Drop your head back. Inhale here, you can exhale, side out. Bend both knees, feet foot off the floor, hands toward your knees, rock to the left and to the right, massaging the lower back and around the tailbone. Start to drop your knees towards the right. Bring your arms out to a T, and then drop your head towards the left. We're shifting into a twist. Soften around the neck, down the spine to hips. Practice softening the body, physically letting go. 1 or 2 more breaths here on this side. And then opposite side, left knees towards the left, head towards the right. So you want to make sure your knee and your head are facing opposite direction for the full benefit of this twist. Your body is supported by the ground here. Surprisingly, we'll still hold on to some tension, lifting our bodies up in ways we don't need to. So scan your body, see where can you soften just 10% more. And then head comes back to center, knees as well. Full body stretch, lift your arms up overhead, lift your abdomen up towards the ceiling. And then start to prepare for your final resting pose. Palms face up towards the ceiling, framing your hips, legs are long, eyes are closed. As we transition into our final resting pose, you reacquaint yourself with what your full breath is like and remind yourself that this is your breath you can go back to throughout your day. We're cultivating that habit of returning to our bodies throughout our day. And as it's just as simple as noticing one breath. If you cultivate that, you'll cultivate that body awareness that's necessary to notice where there's tension in the body, how you can heal your body, how you can unite that physical, mental, emotional body. Our goal is a sense of renewal and replenishment, to welcome our experience. And after you've taken a couple of full deep breaths, you have that full diaphragm breathing available to you. Your belly can fully expand. You can continue with these deep breaths for the rest of Shavasana, or let your breath go back to its natural rhythm. No control of the breath, short, fast, shallow, or long. Do be purposeful in softening the body. This is your opportunity to be without any expectations. Soften the neck and head, shoulders, down to your fingertips. Notice a release in the wrists and palms. Notice we tend to hold on to so much with our hands. It's a good metaphor here. Just noticing that physical release in the hands. Soften the upper back, mid back, lower back. And then down the length of your legs, hips behind your knees, ankles and toes. And then start to shift your attention back to your fingertips and toes. Invite a generous and leisurely breath. You have the option of inviting a full body stretch, lifting your arms up overhead, interlacing your fingers, pointing your toes, and or turning your body to the side, allowing it to remain heavy and relaxed. And then once again, being very purposeful of inviting a generous breath, a leisurely breath. And then after another breath or two, start to make your way slowly up to your seat, moving intentionally with presence, welcoming your breath. And then as you transition to your seat, notice that throughout the class, you've been cultivating body awareness and self-awareness. Make any little adjustments that bring you into more integrity, physically, mentally, emotionally. And then take a moment to appreciate your path, your experience. And on that note, we'll take our hands in front of our heart center. Intentional inhale here and exhale. And in the tradition of yoga, the highest in me sees the highest in you. Namaste.